everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Jenny, and as always, I'm here with Mark, our resident tech guru. Mark, how's it going?
Jenny, I'm doing great and excited about today's topic. We're diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's becoming more and more real. Automatic charging robots with robotic arms, or, as I like to call them, ACRs with a twist.
ACRs with a twist. I love it. So, for our listeners who might be picturing, a Roomba with a power cord, can you paint us a picture of what these things actually times are?
Okay, so picture this. You've got your automated guided vehicles, AGVs, zipping around a warehouse, or maybe electric vehicles pulling into a parking garage. Instead of a person fumbling with a charging cable, you have a robotic arm, sometimes attached to its times mobile robot, that precisely connects the charger. No human intervention needed.
So it's automation meeting automation. No plugging in, no waiting around. It just happens?
Exactly. And this isn't just about convenience. It's about efficiency. Think about a fleet of delivery robots. If they have to stop and wait for someone to charge them, that's downtime. That's lost productivity. These ACRs, especially the ones with robotic arms, they can keep things moving almost 24/7.
Okay, that makes sense. Less downtime means more deliveries, more packages getting where they need to go. But what about the robotic arm part? Why is that time so important?
Precision, precision, precision. We are talking sub-millimeter accuracy here. It's not like plugging your phone in. These connections, especially for some industrial applications or electric vehicles, they need to be asterisk perfect. A robotic arm, guided by sophisticated vision systems and AI, can achieve that level of accuracy consistently.
So it's not just about plugging something in, it's about making a secure, reliable connection every single time. I can see how that would be crucial, especially for, say, a large electric vehicle with a massive battery.
Right. And it's not just about the size of the battery, it's also the frequency of charging. I was reading this report, I think it was from OpenPR, that said the market for these ACRs with robotic arms is going to grow from around $32 million now to $51 million by 2031. That is a steady growth.
That's impressive, although I've seen other reports with much times higher growth rates for the general mobile robot charging market. What's the deal with the difference?
That's a great question. The overall mobile robot charging times market, that's exploding, with growth rates of like 40% or more in some forecasts. But this specific niche, ACRs times with robotic arms, it's a bit more specialized. It probably faces some bigger engineering challenges, maybe higher initial costs. So the growth, while still significant, is a little more measured.
Okay, that clarifies things. It's like the broader market is a rocket ship, and this is more of a high-speed train, still fast, still impressive, but on a different track, so to speak.
I like that analogy. And, another thing to consider is times this technology is taking off. I've read that the Asia-Pacific region is really leading the charge, so to speak, because of all the rapid industrialization happening there. But then you have other regions investing in different ways.
So who are some of the big players in this space? Are we talking about companies we've heard of, or are there some new names we should be watching?
There are definitely some familiar names in the mix. Companies like Envision and even HUAWEI, they're making moves. Then you have companies like LOTUS and DHFORCE that you might not know as well, but they're playing a critical role.
It sounds like a diverse market and one that's solving a asterisk real times problem. But, I have to ask, what are the potential downsides? We need to talk about the elephant in the room. Are there any ethical concerns or challenges that we should be aware of?
Well, like any automation technology, there are questions about job displacement. It's something that always comes up. Some economists, like David Autor and David Dorn, have done research showing that automation times lead to job losses, especially for, how should I put it, lower skilled workers. But, and this is a big but, I firmly believe that it's not a one-for-one replacement. This tech creates new kinds of jobs too, in areas like maintenance, software development, and robot supervision.
That's a good point. It's more of a shift in the asterisk types of jobs available rather than just a straight-up reduction. It's like when ATMs came out. Fewer bank tellers, maybe, but more software developers and ATM technicians. Still, I'm wondering, how do smaller businesses even begin to afford this kind of technology? It sounds expensive.
You're right. the initial investment can be a hurdle, especially for smaller companies. That's one of the reasons, I think, why we're seeing that more measured growth rate for ACRs with robotic arms compared to the overall mobile robot charging market. It might limit adoption, at least initially, to larger corporations or regions with, really robust infrastructure.
And what about security? It seems like anything this automated, this connected, could be vulnerable to, like hacking or system failures. What happens if the robot arm times malfunctions while charging a multi-million-dollar piece of equipment?
That's a very valid concern, Jenny. Cybersecurity is a huge times deal with any automated system, and ACRs are no exception. There need to be robust security protocols and, of course, fail-safe mechanisms. We're talking about multiple layers of redundancy to prevent, well, exactly what you're describing. A robot arm going rogue is not something anyone wants.
Right. And what about the future? Where do you see this technology heading in, say, the next 5 or 10 years?
Oh, this is where it gets really exciting. I think we'll see more wireless charging integration. Imagine robots just gliding over a charging pad, no physical connection needed, and with advances in AI and machine learning, these systems will become even smarter, more adaptable, and more efficient. We might even see them learning from each other, optimizing charging patterns across entire fleets.
So even times less human intervention, and even more times seamless operation, and maybe a smaller carbon footprint too, if these things are making electric vehicles and delivery robots more efficient?
That's the hope, Jenny. More efficient charging could definitely encourage wider adoption of electric vehicles, which, as research shows, generally have a lower carbon footprint over their life cycle. It's all connected,
It sounds like we're just at the beginning of this journey, and it's going to be fascinating to watch it unfold. Thanks for breaking it all down for us, Mark. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick listener engagement bit. Listeners, we want to hear from you. How important do you think automation will be in transforming transportation in the next decade? Give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being, it'll change everything. And use the hashtag ACR Talk on social media to share your thoughts.
My pleasure, Jenny. Always happy to share the nerdy details. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this exploration of ACRs with a twist. We'll be back next week with another exciting dive into the world of tech.